Good morning, guys. It is May 15th, 2020, day 13 of Flippin Live. We've been going live for 12 days straight. This is day 13. I'm excited to get started here on Friday. And my name is Andrew from 510 Books. And we're going to talk about a variety of things. It's Friday, so let's try to have some fun. Talk about reselling, talk about what's going on with quarantine and that type of thing. And also I want to mention about Facebook ads that I'm running on Facebook in regards to having or trying to get book donations, and then talk about diversifying our products, talk about trying to buy some toys, a lot of different things. So let's get started with Flippin' Live right now.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, we're flippin' live.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a good Friday morning. Hello, Brian. Hello, JD, Sashi. Everybody that's here, good morning. Glad you guys showed up. Glad you guys are here, taking the time to participate. I really appreciate it. It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday. The week has flown past for sure. I feel like it was just the start of the week, and here we are, Friday. So anyway, time's flying between having the kids at home for me and being really busy with all the sales I'm getting online, which I'm thankful for. So it's just been a little bit crazy, and things are going fast. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm definitely open to questions. If you guys have questions about anything going on related to, reselling during this quarantine time, or questions about what we're going to be talking about, which is diversification, that type of thing. But I wanted to start it off with a silly thing. Let's see. So I want to start off with something a little bit, let me move over here so you can see my face. A little bit silly. If you could keep only 3 things, right, of this list, what would those 3 things be? Chocolate, cats, jewelry, makeup, Netflix, coffee, dogs, books, cheese, or tacos. I don't know. Tacos is a weird one. You could put any kind of food in there. And I've seen some other lists that have stuff. So for me personally, I could not live without, if I could only get 3 of these, right? And then I get everything else. But these only 3 of this list, chocolate, gotta be chocolate for me, Netflix, and books. Couldn't live without the books, couldn't live without the chocolate, and the Netflix, man. I could live without, I don't drink coffee. I like dogs, but I'd be okay without them. Cheese would be rough, huh? I guess no more Mexican food. I'm not a big cats fan. Jewelry, no makeup. Those are the 3 I would pick. I would pick chocolate, Netflix, and books. What about you guys? So let me know. This is a little silly, but I thought we'd do something a little silly here on Friday. Put it up there. I know you guys are thinking really hard about that. I like to post stuff like that to my Facebook page. I post a lot of memes and things like that to get people engaged and remember that I exist, that I'm out there, that I have the monthly sale and that type of thing. Whoops. Books, coffee, tacos, chocolate, coffee, books. And then Melissa says books, makeup. I'll change mine to dogs, chocolate, books. Okay, you can do without coffee. Yeah, I'm okay without coffee. I love that. Oh, no books for JD. Okay. So you're gonna, okay. I understand that we all have our personal preferences. That's fine. Yeah. So I think this is funny. This kind of stuff I like to throw up there and try to get people to interact and remember that I'm there and that it's not just, I'm not trying to just, I'm not trying to sell them stuff. I'm also trying to engage them, make them, think and have a good day and that type of stuff. So, yeah, I couldn't live without chocolate. I've always been a huge chocolate fan. I've always been a big reader and I always loved movies. So, uh, years ago, years ago, Netflix didn't exist, but if it was like movies or something like that, tacos too is a tough one. But burritos is not on here, so I can have a burrito still. Anyway, if there's anybody new in the chat, feel free to say hello. Let us know you're here, or you can be quiet and just watch. That's fine too. But we go live every morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. James is here. Morning. Hello, James. Welcome. Glad to see you here. So today's Friday. Today's a pretty normal day for me. Usually, the kids are at home because they're not able to go to school because of the quarantine lockdown, and we're not sure what's going to happen for the next school year. But anyway, that's another conversation. But for now, we're having to homeschool them. And the weird thing is, when you homeschool, you can control how much work they do from day to day. So you can kind of front load the week. And although my son is in preschool, so it's not, my daughter's in first grade. So his preschool was definitely, it's not like daycare. They're definitely trying to teach them how to read and that type of stuff and do basic math. So we work with him on that. And he does have a good amount of work for a 4-year-old. But anyway, and my daughter has a good amount of work for the week and try to front load the week. So now, yesterday they had a light day. Basically, through Wednesday they had basically finished with most of their homework, and yesterday they did some stuff too, but it was a little lighter. And today they're not going to have very much left to do. So that they're going to grandma and grandpa's house, so they'll be able to play most of the day and kind of have fun and that sort of thing. So, but anyway, normally, I take them on certain days of the week. I take them to grandma and grandpa's, and then grandma and grandpa's house, and then I'm able to go to the warehouse and work, or come home and work. Usually, I go to the warehouse and do stuff there in the morning, and then come home and do listing or shipping here at home, and then often I'll go back to the warehouse in the afternoon. But today I have an appointment at 10 a.m. I need to message the person before I go there. It's someone that I found through Facebook Marketplace who is offering pallets of, I guess they have pallets of different types of merchandise, but they had some toys, and I saw that on Marketplace, and I decided to contact them, and they said, sure, you can come by. So I set an appointment today for 10 a.m. To go by and see what these toys are about and if it's worth it. Because I've been thinking about, so this topic of today, the general topic of today is diversifying and reselling, and how I'll tell you a little bit about my, what I've done diversifying and that type of stuff. But today I will be going to see what those toys are about. They showed a picture of some of the toys they had. They didn't, show a bunch, but they had some dolls and some Star Wars action figures. These are all, they were all new, the pictures that they showed, so I presume they're new. Some of this stuff is like Amazon returns, or some people even say eBay returns. I've seen different organizations here in the area that have pallets of different types of merchandise. I've sold a few toys in the past, and I know that toys can be potentially lucrative, so that's why I wanted to try it out as a way to diversify. So that's at 10 a.m. today, and I will let you guys know tomorrow, Saturday, how that went. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I'm able to buy a pallet today. They have them broken down into smaller boxes, so I don't actually have to have a pallet delivered, or don't actually have to pick up the pallet. According to what they told me, I could actually take the smaller boxes and just fill my car with them. So that's awesome. And also they're in the same city where my warehouse is, and it's very close. It's like less than a 5-minute drive, like a mile away. So super close, super convenient. So my fingers are crossed, and think positive thoughts that this will work out. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. There's other opportunities out there, but hopefully they have some decent toys, because I don't know what are good toys to be selling generally. I mean, I know the brands, the general brands, right? Barbie and Mattel and whatever, and the different types of ones based on some of the stuff my kids are into, like Paw Patrol. Like um, my daughter was into, they're into like My Little Pony right now. So there's all different types, but I'm not really sure, what the best ones and the hot ones are right now. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. I see. I'm glad you guys are chatting, letting to know. So, I'm seeing that Brian's in Illinois. Oh, Musashi-san, you're in LA. I didn't know that. Oh, James is in Orange County. Awesome. Um, James is my whoops. Oopsie. Sorry. Uh, he says my wife burns me out, but I just pushed through. That's funny. Um, awesome. So good to see you guys, or a couple of you guys here in LA or Southern California anyway. Yeah. So awesome. Whoopsie. So before I jump into the talking about more of the diversifying and that type of thing, I did want to. Well, here I'll show. Oh, actually, I'll talk about this first. That the Facebook ad I'm running is doing pretty well in terms of the responses I've got. If I think James might not know about it, I'm not sure, but I've been running this ad since Friday, so it'll be today and later in the afternoon. It'll be a full week. I need to extend the time actually. In that time frame, I've received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've got 10 direct messages from people on Facebook through the Messenger app in regards to my ad, which is basically saying, for asking for book donations, that I'm a local bookseller and looking to relieve you of your books, etc. And I've gotten 10 messages. I've already got one donation on Monday, and then I got another one a message from a woman yesterday, and she, for next week for sure, wants to donate some books. She's going through her father's books and is excited. People are always excited to donate books, so that's a good thing to know. Okay, James. Yeah, so it's just a video ad about 35, 40 seconds long that I created in my warehouse, and then I put a couple things in there, text and whatnot, images, and then edited the video. And then I created an ad on Facebook on last Friday. I'm doing $5 a day. And so far I've reached like 2,600 people, or views, impressions, whatever you want to call it. So there's a couple benefits, right? I'm sharing my business with people locally. This is only within about a 5-7 mile radius. I can't remember which it was, 5 to 7 mile radius. So everyone that's seeing it lives really close to where my business is. And I'm targeting book readers, book buyers, that type of thing, all ages. And I'm focusing on getting book donations because right now most things are closed, including thrift stores. So a lot of people don't have anywhere to donate books. So it's a good opportunity. Even before the quarantine, it was a good opportunity to do this, just to get in between, because a lot of thrift stores in my area, at least, are not accepting book donations. And some, are not willing to go pick them up if people can't go drop them off, because books can be really heavy and cumbersome. So I'm offering a pickup service and a drop-off at my warehouse, whichever is more convenient for people. And I've had one book donation that I picked up on Monday, and a lot of other people who are very interested, but they're not yet ready to donate. So like I talked about in another video, sometimes you got to be patient for your efforts to compound. So hopefully this will start to show more fruit like next week and the week after. And at some point, hopefully, I'll be having weekly donations as I continue to run the ad, that people said, oh, great, I'm just going through books right now, but I need another week or two. And then those people in a week or two will donate. And then in that week when they're donating, other people say, oh, I need another week or two, etc. And then hopefully within a month or so, 3 to 4 weeks, I would hope that would be the time frame, if this goes well, that I'll be having weekly donations from people and continuing to get more leads on this. The first donations I got on Monday were all Native American or American Indian books from a guy who was a professor. So those are potentially going to be good. I've gone through some of them. Nice. James says, do they ask you for a donation receipt? Oh, No, I have not had that question yet. I've only got one donation so far, but I'm sure someone will ask me. I've been thinking about getting maybe generic donation receipts from somewhere, but I don't have any. So no one has asked me yet, but I anticipate that somebody will for sure. So most of the people that have contacted me have been excuse me, very positive about it, very receptive, and have actually thanked me for it, and are excited about donating books. Excuse me. So, so it's been a positive response overall. 10 responses in 7 days, direct messages. The other thing about it is because I have do a local sale. I was doing a monthly sale every 4 weeks. I would do it in my warehouse, usually at the beginning of the month, and I would hold a Friday and a Saturday sale. And I have a public Facebook page for 510 books where I have right now I'm getting close to 200 followers, yeah. And because I'm running this ad, I'm actually getting more people to follow my page, which means that every time I post, they will see what I post. If they're looking at Facebook, they will see what I post in their news feed. So I mean, my reach is slowly getting bigger. And also, what happens is when you run an ad, when you have the post, right, the ad, and people will like it. And then, so I have, like, as of yesterday, I had 28 people who liked the post, only 10 responses. So some people, they either, they like the idea of donating, that I have to offer that service, but they're not ready to donate, or they don't have anything to donate, but they like it. So then what you can do with Facebook is you can go back through everything that was liked, everybody that liked the page, and you can actually invite them to follow my Facebook page. And this works well because they've already seen me, seen my face, know who I am, know what I do. And so when I hit that invite button, they'll get an invitation to like or follow my page. And then some do, some don't. But out of 28 or 20 or so that don't already like it, that even 5 or 6 will be more people following me and potentially can go to the sale and potentially donate. So it's kind of, that's what I found with the Facebook page and trying to grow it is you can grow it, what I see, in 2 ways. Either the free way, which is post things that go viral. But what I found is I've had a few things go tiny viral, as in I post a meme and then in a day or two I see that 5,000 people have seen it, and the way that happens is people share it, right? But that hardly ever translates into people following my page. So what I found is you have to pay for ads, even $5 a day, and I run ads on Facebook for when I have local sales, and people start liking the page. So you almost have to buy your likes or your follows. But once you have those people following you, Facebook is very, very interactive. People, they follow you for a reason. They're readers, or they're into music or into records or that, whatever it is. And a lot of those people will end up coming to the sale or will tell other people about it. So anyway, so that's what's going on with the ad. Oh, what do you mean by public sale? Like garage sale, but at your warehouse? So I was doing in March, the first weekend of March, I had my 5th local sale, and it is in my warehouse. Half of my warehouse space, it's a smaller warehouse space. It's 800 square feet, but half of it is set up for the local sale. So I have tables and shelves set up, and I've got all the 5 big media items out there. I got books, CDs, records, video games, audiobooks. Those are the big 5. Mostly I get a lot of record buyers. I've grown into people coming by that are big collectors who buy lots of records from me, and I sell them for most of them for $3 a piece, and then I have some that are priced higher, but I try to have more records out each time. So yeah, so it's a sale every month that I do to the public, that I advertise on Facebook, and I have a big sign that I put out on the side of the street there, because it's near a very highly trafficked area. So when I have a public sale, I get a monthly sale, I get a lot, like almost half the people that come through just see my sign. And then I have signs up to say, follow me. And a lot of those people end up coming back. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I mean. Just a little background for James. And that's been going well. My first sale was like November. So I had November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, so that makes sense. November to March, and the sales grew every month except between February was my biggest sale in terms of, or my most profitable in terms of the money that I made and the amount of items I sold, and then it went down in March. And my assumption is two reasons because I believe the weather was a little cold, and I think that affected some people, prevented some people from coming out. And then number two, it's at the very start of the COVID-19 when it was getting more what known here in the States after it had been in China and then South Korea and then in Italy was awful, all people getting sick and dying. And so anyway, it was slowly coming to the US. And so I think that had something to do with it because people were already not wanting to shake hands and keeping their distance a bit. So I think that affected my sales. But anyway, I'm going off on a different tangent. So that's the Facebook ad. I'm excited for next week. Hopefully, I'll start getting more appointments with people and just get more people involved. So what I'm going to do is spend $5 a day, which is around $150 a month, and I'm gonna definitely run this for a whole month and see how that goes. And by the end of the month, see how many books I've been able to collect, and how much my Facebook page has grown. That's the other thing. I'm not only investing in potentially getting free books. I mean, I'm paying for the ads, but I'm getting free books donated to me and any other media I can get. But also, I'm ideally converting more people to follow me on Facebook. So the more people I have following me on Facebook, the better it's going to be. And if you want to, anybody can do this. You can start a free Facebook page locally and name it whatever you want to name it for your business. And you can do this too. It's a great way to have a location online that people can go to learn about you, to see what you're doing, and see what your service is. You don't need a warehouse space. You don't need an office. You can do it out of your house. You can just say you're a bookseller, and that's good enough, right? And as long as people know the books aren't just going to be thrown away, because they could do that themselves. People like to see that their books are going to be reread, distributed out to the world, even though some of them might be in terrible condition or might be outdated or just not in have any sort of demand. They like to, people like to know that it's potentially going somewhere. So it's a good idea. I think if you're going to try to become a person that people can donate to, because these are books that would normally, if not getting thrown out, they would normally just go directly to the thrift store. And depending on what thrift store it is, if it's Goodwill, they might actually go through them for online sales first. Or not, depends on which it is. Or if it's a smaller mom and pop thrift store, they probably won't do online sales. They'll just put them out directly, and then who's going to get to them? Some reseller is going to come along and probably go through those books, depending on where you live, depending on how populated the area is, how many other resellers there are. So this is your chance to, there's this idea of getting in the back room of a thrift store before the books hit the floor. Well, this is the same. This is before they even get to the thrift store. You can get in the middle and try to become that person who's going to grab, get those good books, quality books before they get into a reseller's hands who's buying them off the shelf of a thrift store, which is what we all do, right? And, this is how thrift stores stay in business. They get free donations. So anyway, so I'm excited about that. If you guys have any more comments or... let's see. Let me look at your question here. Brian says, do you ever save manuals for CDs or video games that are missing the discs? Would it be worth the time to try and sell those to collectors? Save manuals. Yes. So I have sold, not CDs. Yeah, not CDs. Those are not going to be worth, that I've noticed, would be worth very much money. But manuals for, like Musashi-san said, for some video games will definitely be worth money just by themselves, because people will they don't have it. Maybe they just have the disc, so they're trying to complete the game. I've done that with some Super Mario Brothers games, and I'm sure there's others like you just mentioned. Clock Tower PS1, right? I've never heard of that one, but that's one. I'm not a super duper knowledgeable about all the most valuable video games, but I have sold a lot of video games, so I have a general idea, especially on eBay. Like I just yesterday, I showed you the video of how I sold um, PS3 Mortal Kombat for PS3, and it was the disc only. I didn't have anything else. It was in a slim disc, and somebody bought it for $14.99. So I've sold a lot of disc only video games, and you can do that sometimes with the manuals. I would look them up first real quick on eBay and see if if it's selling for something. If it's, I mean, for good money. If it's not, then I wouldn't bother. Um, you could keep the manuals, and just in case you come across a loose disc, but the chances of that happening are probably not very high. But it doesn't take that much space to keep them. So yeah. JD, oh, okay. JD says no use for deduction receipts. These donations would not be tax deductible for the donor. Oh, you aren't a designated charity with IRS. Oh, okay. Well, that's good though, because then I can just tell people I'm not a nonprofit organization, charitable organization, so I can't offer you a donation receipt, which is even better for me, right? Um, because I'm not, and I am going to be. I haven't found a lawyer yet. I plan on incorporating my business, 510 Books, whatever's the best one, LLC, C corporation. I'm not sure, probably LLC. I know I can do that on my own, but I'm trying to find a lawyer who can help me, not just with that, but with general things having to do with being a corporation, potentially hiring somebody, all that stuff. So at some point I'll incorporate, but it's not going to be as a charitable organization. However, one of the hooks that I am utilizing with the ad is not only am I saying donate to, or looking to donate your books. Do you need to donate books? Donate to 510 Books. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. We're a local bookseller, right? So that's all. I say all that, and then I say, a portion of, or 20% of any profits any profits from the books you donate will go to donorschoose.org, which is a website where you can donate money to help teachers fund classroom projects, whatever it may be, whether it's buying materials, whether it's doing a project for the class, whether it's taking a field trip. So, a percentage can go. And so people like that as well. So even though I'm not a charitable organization, by me donating some of the profits, it kind of puts me in a similar bucket as a thrift store. He's James at LegalZoom. Okay. How much did you're talking about incorporating, James? How much did that cost? What was that like? Um, so, yeah, this is the fun thing about being able to do ads and, having Facebook is it's so granular. You can really break it down and really focus on people that, actually read, actually would donate books. So, which is a lot of people, but, some people don't. So you don't want to focus on those people. And it was funny that I think yesterday I told you that the guy that I donated to, the guy that donated to me was looking for it. He was searching. He wanted somebody to be able to take the books off his hands because his friend that had died, the doctor who had died, he had promised him that he wouldn't just give them away. He wouldn't just throw the books away. That they would go to someone who would actually utilize them. So he was really happy about that, which is awesome. That's building goodwill. And guess what? That guy is following my Facebook page, and when I post something new, he likes it. He's starting to leave a comment. So he's engaged, and he's like a super fan, which is what I've heard that term from someone else, a non-reseller who wrote a book called Super Fans. But he's become he's more than likely to say something good about my company, about donating books. I know somebody who's, if he hears anybody who needs to donate books, he's definitely gonna say, oh, you should donate to this organization or this person, which is always a good thing. James says, yeah, $600 for LLC in California and $1,200 a year for CPA and lawyer. Anytime I have a question, unlimited usage. CPA files my quarterlies. Oh, I didn't even know that LegalZoom did that. Oh wow. Okay. $600 is not bad to have it done. Okay, I see a couple more people have come into the chat. This is Flippin' Live. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. We go live every morning from 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Time to 8 a.m. It's an hour-long show, streaming live. Oops, somebody left. So feel free to participate in the chat, ask questions, contribute. We want to make this a community while we're all quarantined. So the show will go on until, I don't know, we'll see. But at least through this quarantine, when most of us are having to be at home and not able to go out in the world. So yeah, that's a good idea. LegalZoom, I've heard of them, of course, before, but didn't look into them. $600 sounds like a good deal. So I wanted to share with you a quick little video clips here of some sales I made yesterday on eBay. Also in the same vein of diversifying, which I'm going to talk about some here today. Let's see. Yeah. So let me show you, where is this? I think this is it. Here's a few things I sold on eBay today. I have got a DVD, Packet Killer. It's about playing cards. Learn astonishing tricks with gaffed cards. So very niche. That one sold. Listed that a few months ago. This is a Vietnamese language DVD, a movie. That one sold, so that was nice. I remember I told you a few live streams ago about not passing by loose discs, whether they are software or video games, especially video games. And this one I just listed this week, Mortal Kombat PS3, PlayStation 3. It sold for $14.99, so that was a very nice sale. And then I have this vinyl record that I sold for $10.99, but it's one of those that I believe I pulled out of a Gaylord. I also have my last two mixed DVD lots for eBay, and these are all kids DVD lots, here, and then over here. So I have a lot of lots that I sold, a lot of lots. I also sold this Baby Einstein DVD lot, which I had listed as buy it now instead of auction. And it sold for $12.99 plus shipping. So that was a very nice sale. And the same woman that bought this one also bought the one beneath it. This one is a bunch of DVDs for kids, religious themed, for teaching, I believe. And this is a lot of 8. I actually had about 15 together. She contacted me via email through eBay and said she was interested in 8 of them, and was wondering if I was willing to adjust the listing and make them available so she could buy them. And considering that she offered $35 plus shipping, I said absolutely. And I have more of these that I was putting into a different lot. So this was a great sale as well. Yeah, that last one was, as I mentioned in the video, it was one that I had put, I had 15 of them together. I looked them up on eBay. They sell for good money. Each of them has 2 DVDs. It seems to be some sort of subscription that people pay for, and then they're sent the DVDs monthly, I believe. So they're dated. I had them from 2015 to 2018, and so I listed the whole lot. I got some people looking at it, but I didn't have any offers or any sale, or I hadn't sold it yet. But this was the first person who showed interest, and they said, "Oh, I'm interested." Initially, they said they're interested in one title, and I was for $8, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to do that." And then they came back later on in the day and said, "Actually, after looking at them, I'm interested in 8 of the titles." And they told me all 8, and they said, "Would you be willing to take $35 plus shipping for those 8 titles?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I just took those 8 out, took pictures of them. I went into the listing and changed the title and changed the description, and then put the new photos and changed the price. Buy it now, no offers. And then I shot them a message and said it's all live, ready to go, and they bought it within an hour or two, and that was a great sale. Oh, hey, Say hi.
Hi.
All right. Go. And so sorry for that. Close it. For that brief interruption. Um, so anyway, so that's sold, and then she also bought the Baby Einstein, the DVD lot of 6 Baby Einstein DVDs. So I sent all those off to her. So that was nice. So now I have to package up some other ones. I mean, I have to create another listing because I have a bunch of those other Wonder DVDs. So I'm going to put together something with that. They're in the warehouse. So James, any tips? Any tips or comments on how you price your media? I assume you're talking about eBay because I was showing eBay sales. So when it comes to different media, I mean, I just look it up on eBay. Basically, I wouldn't say, similar to Amazon, just that Amazon has way more data and software tools, scanning apps with a lot more information. But eBay is basically, I look it up. Look it up on the app when I'm in the warehouse going through stuff, like the loose disc video game. I'll just look it up and see what it's worth, basically what it's going for currently. I mean, what are the current offers, how many offers there are, and then what it's sold for recently, and then I'll kind of gauge as to where I want to sell it. For me personally, I want to sell it quicker, so I'm more impatient. Also, I mean, I'm just impatient with that stuff in general, which was why starting reselling with FBA was so hard, because I wanted to instantly make money, and then I had to wait because I had to, figure out how the whole thing worked and what books to buy and that sort of thing. But yeah, I price it usually to sell. So that $14.99 price for that loose video game, Mortal Kombat and PS3, was priced to sell, basically. And the video games will sell really fast, especially that type of stuff. Mortal Kombat, they're really well-known titles. Super Mario Brothers. You can price them where the market is, and it'll sell. So, I could have priced it $19.99 and tried to get more money and waited, but I'd rather just keep it moving. That's kind of how I feel about it when it comes to eBay. And I make almost all of my all of my individual items on eBay have make an offer option for buy it now. All my buy it now listings on eBay have the make an offer option. So almost all of them, like 99% of them, I converted all of them to that, and I started selling a lot more about a week or two ago. More than a week, probably a week and a half. And I've seen my sales go up because of that. I've also been listing a lot more items to eBay individually. I've been doing a ton of lots, CD and DVD lots as well, but individually I've been listing a lot more. I have a whole bunch here on the ground right now that I've photographed, and the photographs are on my computer. I just have to start listing them. And I've got a bunch more DVDs and books in the warehouse to do. So the more I list, the more I sell. But anyway, yes, eBay has a sales history and number of current event thoughts on a repricer for eBay. Is that a thing? Is there an eBay repricer? I don't even know about that. Instead of bothering with a repricer, though, if there is one, like Amazon, I don't know for eBay, but I just say I have offers. I mean, people can make offers, so I don't know about the repricing, but I usually don't reprice on eBay because I just have the buy it now, make an offer option. So if something, there are things up there though that have been up there for over a year and a half, I'm sure even longer, that I should go through at some point and see if I should just take it off and not bother anymore. But it seems like the more new items I list, the more I sell in general, and older stuff starts to sell as well, not just the new stuff that I'm listing. So that's like the DVD that I sold in that video, which was had to do with like the gaffed decks, which I guess are like card tricks. That had been up there for a little while, for several months. And that record had been up there for a long time, probably since last year. So it helps to, try to sell off older stuff. Okay, I didn't know. But it makes sense. But no, I've never looked into repricing a repricer on eBay. The only repricer I use on Amazon is the Amazon repricer, and I know people, will start yelling at me about that. But I've never liked the idea of having a repricer and potentially issues with it. Anyway, so Amazon's is real basic, real simple. I just match the lowest price, and I have a floor, and I sell. So, and I don't reprice I don't have a repricer on my FBA items, but I've done well without that, and I may or may not do better with it. Oh, I've got to deal with that. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know about repricers for eBay. I'm not familiar with that. Brian says a lot of the video rental stores are slowly getting rid of their Nintendo 3DS games, so it's worth going in to see if you can flip some, because they will usually sell them at one fixed price. Video rental stores, so like GameStops, that type of stuff. Huh. Okay, that's a good bolo. Didn't know about that. Yeah, video games are huge. I years ago, when I first started reselling, I actually got into video games a lot more, and I would really look for them. And I bought several older gaming systems. I still have my original Nintendo NES, from the old school ones. I still have mine. It still works. So I was able to test some of those games that I would come across, those old cartridge games. But I also bought a couple other systems, like Nintendo Wii, of course, and I bought I think it was Nintendo 64. There was a couple others that I bought, but I don't remember why I stopped really focusing on video games. But I come across them a lot more now, and I love selling video games, especially in my local sale. I have video games that I sell for $3 a piece. And a lot of times people will come in and they'll see them like, oh, you have video games? And they'll look through and be like, oh, I haven't seen this game forever. And I also have PC games there too. And people are like, oh my God, you got a lot of PC games. So I've got a lot of like Xbox and Wii and that type of stuff. So some people will buy those and see games they haven't seen in like a dozen years or 15 years or whatever. And so that's always fun. But video games are harder. I mean, if you look on like the local apps, a lot of people are just trying to flip them for what you could sell them online. So it's harder to find them for cheaper. Play Live Nations. Huh. Family Video. No, I don't think there's any of those out here. Not that I'm familiar with. Sega Master System. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I first started, JD says, do I have an eBay store? How does that work? Is it worth it? So if you're going to go, so I can't remember what the minimum or what the, isn't it only 30 a month that they give you free listings on eBay if you don't have a store? I do have a store. I started out without a store, and then I quickly got to the limit. And then I got their basic store. And then I think the next one is premium. No, there's starter, basic, and premium, I believe. And then from that, it's Anchor, which is much larger. I have the premium one, which is $75 a month. And it offers free 1,000 buy it now listings. And currently I have like 480 something or whatever individual items, 470 for sale on eBay, and then I have like 30 something auctions right now. But yeah, I think it's worth it if you're going to sell hundreds, if you're going to put up hundreds of items consistently. You don't necessarily need to jump to the premium one. There's also smaller ones. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I know the smaller stores, they offer maybe like 500 free listings, something like that. So I think it's worth it because you get way more listings. What are the other benefits? I'm blanking right now, but it's worked out really well for me. And I'm still working towards getting a lot more up there on eBay, which would make more. I mean, which would um, be very good. I mean, very good for my business because clearly, the more I list, the more I have up there, the more I sell. It's just, I don't have somebody listing for me currently, so I'm having to do it myself while I do everything else. But anyway, that's how it goes. So, but I would recommend it getting a store, maybe one of the smaller ones, if you are going to go bigger into eBay. If you're going to come across a lot of stuff that you're not going to be able to sell for various reasons on Amazon, I definitely recommend it. If you're going to have a very, very small number inventory, then maybe it's not worth it. But if you're going to have several hundred, you should probably do it for sure. Yeah. So I haven't gone over my 1,000 listings on my buy it now listings. So I just have to pay for doing auctions, which are 15 cents. I mean, yeah, 15 cents. So that's the minimum price for an auction. And all my auctions are 7-day auctions starting at 99 cents. Excuse me. Wow. Um, get some water. So, so yeah, definitely. I don't remember all the ins and outs in terms of the cost outside of the monthly cost, but it is definitely worth it for sure. And there's other fancy stuff you can do with your store, that you can't do if you don't have a store. Put up your logos and I don't know, set it up in a way that you want. But I haven't really done any of that. But anyway, it's gone well for me. Yeah. I mean, I didn't start selling on eBay until 3 years ago, until 2017, after I'd been reselling for, yeah. So I've been about half the time that I've been reselling, I've had eBay, but those first 2.5 years I didn't have it. But as I started to get into bulk, so I started to go from just books to a lot more CDs, and then also video games and records. And as I started to do that, I started to come across way more items that I could not sell on Amazon, or that didn't make sense to sell on Amazon. And that was why I decided to start going on eBay. And I was super intimidated by eBay because Amazon is once you figure it out, it's pretty streamlined, pretty simple, right? You have the apps to scan, you have all this data. You don't have to store anything. You just ship it off, and Amazon deals with storing it, keeping it organized, and then finding it to ship it, and dealing with returns and all that stuff. So going to eBay, like Merchant Fulfilled, going to eBay, and also though that there's not listings, right? So you have to create your own listing each time you list something, unless you have multiple copies of something. Then of course, you could have one listing with 30 copies and just keep that listing and keep adding to it. But aside from that situation, you got to create a new listing every time. So that was daunting. It was a lot more work. You have to take photographs. You have to figure out create the title. You have to write the condition note. You have to write the description. But you can create templates for that. So that's been good for me to be able to list a lot quicker. And so now listing on eBay is not that bad, right? You do batches where you take photographs of these 30 items, right? And then go home, upload them to your computer, and then have a template for CDs, have a template for DVDs, have a template for video games, whatever it is. So then you just plug in the new information. You don't have to write everything out. You just need to put in, the title. You need to put in the description box, and the photos and the price, and there you go. Anyway, so definitely eBay has been a huge help with going into bulk and diversifying. And also when I go to a thrift store or any sale, and there's a lot of different types of media, I'm going to be able to sell more than I would if I was just doing FBA, right, and just doing books. So the fact that I've diversified into so much other media has helped me to make more money, basically. It's kind of like recession proof, so to speak. I'm not familiar with that. Someone suggested keeping all of the ultraviolet download code inserts found in DVDs and Blu-rays and selling those separately. Oh, I didn't know about that. Well, look it up on eBay and see for sure. See if that makes sense. I'm not familiar with it, but sure, go for it. That's great thing about eBay is you can do that type of research. Oh, and the other thing, because who was it? The JD asked right about getting a store. The other big thing about getting a store is you have access to Terapeak, which did not used to be a thing in the past, but I guess eBay bought Terapeak, and it used to be a separate service that you'd have to pay for to get access to the last 12 months of eBay sales, which is a huge benefit. I haven't been able to access it on my phone, but on the computer you can access it and you can do some more deep research when you're pricing things out and finding out the demand. So within your sales dashboard, it has a research tab and Terapeak, and you can go back 365 days, a whole year, to see what items, if you're looking up certain items, what they have sold for, how often they've sold for in the past. So that's another big benefit of having having a store. And I believe you can get that even with the basic store or the starter. I think so. I know with the premium you can, but I'm pretty sure you can with the smaller stores as well. So keep that in mind. That's a great tool to have. So that kind of helps you. I mean, that is similar to Amazon, where you can look at the sales history. Of course, there's a lot more data and there's a sales rank than there is with eBay, but still, it helps a lot to be able to do that as well. So yeah, so I'm excited today about seeing what these toys are about in a couple hours. Sometimes you have to just try something. You have to invest a little bit of money into it and see how it goes, which is probably what this is going to end up being, because even if they show me what the toys are, I'm not going to sit there and look them up, all of them, because I said there's 100 individual toys that you would get on the pallet, and so I guess it depends, right? Like the ones that I saw in the picture, I looked them up, and they weren't big money sellers, but they're definitely selling on eBay. I'm not sure about Amazon, but on eBay, and it would be up for debate about whether it would be Amazon or eBay. Do you guys remember with Amazon, when it comes to toys, you can sell toys on Amazon, right? You don't have to get. I think that's just during Q4 when they require you to have a certain amount of sales, in the previous months or whatever it may be. I see more people have joined. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Flippin Live. We go live every morning during quarantine. This is our 13th day from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Andrew from 510 Books. Talk about reselling. Try to have some fun. So I'm glad you guys came here and joined. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Otherwise, just hang out. Yeah, and so anyway, so I'm going to go do that today, and I'm excited about it. Potentially diversifying. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. But I might just, if the toys look, that's the other thing. That hopefully they all look like they're new. So condition should be hopefully new anyway. Did you ship media globally? Do you ship media globally? How do you know? Oh, Manny's here. Hello, Manny. Good morning. Toys aren't restricted, but there's a lot of brand and ASIN restrictions. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you ship media globally? How do you know how much to charge for shipping? For eBay, they used to have the global shipping program, but now they don't have that anymore. Let's see. When I've shipped globally, what has happened? I've had to, sometimes what somebody will do is they'll message me directly, and they'll say, can you ship to this country? And what I can do is go into the item and look it up, based upon, the weight and where it's going. And then I can come up with a price, and I can let them know. And then I believe what they can do is put item in their cart, and then I can't remember exactly the process because I don't do it that often, but uh, and then I think I have to send them what the amount's going to be or invoice them or something. I've only done it a couple times. I don't get too many sales globally, but it's a bit of a hassle. With the global shipping program, it used to be really simple. They would just eBay would just deal with it. They'd invoice them ahead of time, and then you would just have to send it off to Kentucky, I believe, and they would ship it off. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, JD. Having that 1 year of data makes a lot of difference. Yeah. So I have shipped globally many times with the global shipping program. I'm not entirely sure if James is saying, "Hey Manny," James is saying, "I ship globally. You need to set it up in business policies, and they pay the extra fees." I'll have to look into it because I'm not. I knew I talked to somebody a while back about the global shipping program, and they said now because of managed payments, they're having to figure out another option. Um, so I'm not entirely sure how that works. Uh, yeah. Well, I have not been shipping too much globally though, so I don't know. Maybe it's been reintroduced, and I just haven't gotten any sales for global sales yet. But we used to just have to ship it to Kentucky. I know that. Okay, you did it yesterday. Cool. Okay. So I guess it's still there. I guess maybe it's they didn't tell us about it, or I don't know. I wasn't made aware of it. So anyway, so yeah, guys, we had a great stream today. I'm glad that you guys checked in. It's Friday, so end of the week. I know some places. I know Manny made a video on his channel about being able to go to thrift stores because they had opened up. Here in Southern California, they have not. So I guess slowly, hopefully the next few weeks, maybe June, that because what is it, May 15th? We're halfway through May, if you can believe that. That things will be reopening, and slowly with all the precautions, the face mask, social distancing, washing our hands. It might be a thing where they only let a certain amount of people in. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, try to find other sources locally, online, whatever it may be, and hopefully you guys can find enough stuff to resell until things really get going back to normal. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. So now at the end, more people are joining. I'm glad you guys are joining. We're finishing off here soon. We start at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to 8 a.m. We're going to be going every single morning during quarantine. So this is our 13th day. We're going to go tomorrow as well, Saturday and Sunday. So tomorrow, Saturday, I will let you guys know how my little toy adventure went. So you don't know until you try, right? With this reselling, you got to try it first and see how it goes. And that is kind of the deal, right? So yeah, guys, let's get out of here.
Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live. We're gonna strive, we're here to learn and gonna earn. Flippin' live, flippin' live, flippin' live, we're flippin' live.
All right, guys. So this was our Friday, day 13 episode of our live stream, Flippin' Live. I really appreciate everyone that comes out. There's some of you that come out every morning. You don't even understand how much I appreciate that. If you're brand new, please check us out tomorrow if you can. We'll be here every morning as long as we are quarantined, talking about reselling, having some fun, getting to know each other, helping each other out. Trying to get through this together, and as resellers, we got to try to make it work until things get back to normal. So hopefully you guys have a good Friday. Hope you're able to make some good sales today. Maybe source a little bit, list a little bit, and finish the week out strong. I appreciate you guys watching and participating, and I will see you tomorrow. And make sure, guys, and stay safe, because that's the number one priority. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, all right? Take care.